What's up, Ambitious fam? Thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Dominique Galloway and I'm an incoming medical student, an online coach, and a NASM certified personal trainer. And in this video I'm going to share with you guys how to become a physician, because it does start early. So if you're on the pre-med journey or you're going to start your pre-med journey, listen to this video because I'm going to give you guys all the tips and information you need to get into medical school. Alright guys, so the first requirement to get into medical school is to complete a 4-year degree from an accredited college or university. This does not mean you have to go to a school for 4 years, but it does have to be a 4-year degree with a bachelor's of arts or bachelor's of science degree. So that's first things first. So make sure you guys get into college and then we can worry about medical school. The second thing you need to do is to choose your major, guys. So this can be anything you'd like. I know a lot of people don't realize this, but you could actually choose a major of your choice, whatever you're interested in. And I recommend choosing a major that you'll truly enjoy. If that is a science major, that's awesome, because that probably will fulfill all the prerequisites that you need for medical school. But if you do not want to do a science major, you could choose something in humanities, social sciences, whatever you'd like. Personally, I chose a Spanish major. And this actually gave me the opportunity to learn a language, because I do love the Spanish language, to go abroad as well for 10 months in Argentina and Spain, and I love to travel as well. So this major gave me so many opportunities I wouldn't have gotten if I was just a science major. But that's awesome. Do what you love, do what you want. And at the end of the day, this brings me to my third requirement for medical school, which is to complete all of the prerequisites. All right, so what are the prerequisites for medical school? So there are a good amount, but I'm gonna name them all for you guys right now. So you have to get 2 semesters of biology with laboratory, 2 semesters of inorganic chemistry or general chemistry with laboratory, 2 semesters of organic chemistry with laboratory, 2 semesters of math, at least 1 in calculus, and usually another 1 in stats, 2 semesters of physics with laboratory, 2 semesters of English and or writing. And usually social sciences is also a requirement, so psychology or sociology. And there are other recommended courses, but they're not technically required, but biochemistry is highly recommended as well. So yeah, it is about 14 courses that's required for medical school. Actually more, because I didn't include the laboratory. So that's 14 lecture courses that you need, plus the laboratories for most of those courses. And then some schools, if you want to do research on them, they do have specific other courses that are highly recommended if you want to take those as well. But that's what you'll need to get into medical school, guys. Personally, I was able to actually take AP Calculus 1 and 2 in high school, so I didn't have to take any math courses while in college. So it has been a minute since I've taken math, but that's fine if you guys do have some AP credits that can transfer over, or even the courses that you need simply to complete your major at school or complete the general classes at school. You may be able to take some of those courses while in high school, which is great, so you have more time and room to take those other courses you need for medical school. Personally also, I was able to take all of my prerequisites at my undergrad school, so Pepperdine University, and except for 1 course, which was Organic Chemistry 2 plus the lab, and I just finished that in June actually, so a month ago. And I had to take that because the school that I'm actually going to required that before matriculation. I took it online, so it was fine, but I did take all the other prerequisites while in undergrad. Alright, so the next thing is to keep your grades up as best as possible. So do try your very best. Of course, there are challenges that we go through. Of course, there's going to be some courses that are more challenging than the others, but try your best no matter what to keep up your grades, because that is significant for getting to medical school. Your stats do matter. It's not the only thing that matters, but it does matter, and it can have a significant impact on what school you go to, or if you get into any schools at all. So that's first things first, keep up your grades. If you do end up getting a C or below, or you have to retake a class, that's okay. Of course, that's discouraging, but there are a lot of circumstances where people do end up still getting to medical school with that happening, and it's okay. I just feel like the main thing is to show and to prove to the admissions committees that you are able to handle those courses. So if you have to retake a class, make sure that you improve in that course. That is definitely, you know, very effective, because it may have been something that was going on personally that affected that first grade. Also, there are circumstances where people don't even retake the class, but if you do have a lower score or a lower grade in one of your courses, just make sure well, I would recommend to have an upward trend. So if you end up, you know, first starting out in college and you end up not doing so well in your first prerequisite or the first year, it's okay, but just make sure that you show that you can handle the courses later on and that you are continuously improving and enhancing your study routine, and you are able to get better with time, and that's really what's most important. There are also other ways to improve your stats, and that's either with a post-bac program or even a master's program, and this is very common, so this is definitely something you can look into. Personally, I didn't take this route, but there's a lot of research out there to you know, see the benefits when it comes to these programs, so definitely do your research if this is something you're interested in. Okay, so my next tip for becoming a physician is to make sure you get involved in extracurricular activities. So the admissions committees from these schools are actually very interested in well-rounded students, and you could show that by getting involved in different activities throughout your school, organizations or clubs, or even a sorority, fraternity, whatever it is that you'd be interested in, and then just show that you're willing to grow and commit to something, and eventually even get leadership positions in these different activities. So do what you love. You know, don't get involved in things that you don't even enjoy, or try to do all these different activities. I feel like 2 to 3 organizations would be something that's, you know, great to show that you're willing to stick to something and that you actually are passionate about other things. Alright, so the next thing I would say is to make sure you get involved in community service as well. That's another category on an application, and this is actually something I was able to put a lot of time and effort into throughout my pre-med journey. I did have a job within the volunteer center 3 years throughout college, so that just gave me a lot of hours of community service, and it definitely was a part of my theme throughout my application. The next thing is shadowing and clinical experience, guys. So you want to show the admissions committees that you know what you're getting yourself into, and you can demonstrate this by, you know, getting more experience within clinical settings and also shadowing different specialties. So first things first, being a doctor comes with a lot of responsibility, and the healthcare field is strenuous at times. So they want to know that you understand that before applying to medical school. You don't want to spend so much money and time in medical school for you to then realize that this is not what you want to do. So it's very important to get some involvement in shadowing and clinical experience. Also, guys, taking a gap year is another way that you can increase your clinical experience as well. Personally, I was able to do that. At least before the pandemic happened, I was able to work in a private practice here on Long Island, and also in Brooklyn, in Brooklyn, New York. So that was awesome to be able to increase my patient contact hours as well. So yeah, all in all, guys, want to see different opportunities, seek them out, do your research, see what you got to do. Some people become CNAs, some people become EMTs. There are so many ways to gain more experience, so definitely do your research. Alright, so next is research. So personally, I wasn't able to get involved with research, but this is a big plus for your application. It's not something that stopped me from getting to medical school, but I feel like I would have definitely been interested in getting some exposure before entering medical school. So once again, I do highly suggest it, especially if you're interested in any programs that are, you know, that emphasize research or are research heavy. So that's something that you can definitely show the admissions committees that you have an interest in academic medicine, and even get a publication out of it. So yeah, definitely try your best to get involved in research if you can. Alright, so the next thing I would say is to build relationships with your professors, with your mentors, with your advisors early on. This definitely goes a long way, because you don't want to get to the end of your pre-med journey and you're applying and then you have no idea who you can ask for a letter of recommendation. You know, this part of your application is actually very significant. So if you can network and you can build, you know, great bonds early on, this would be, you know, definitely a plus for your application as well. And I would say some ways to do that is just stop into their office. If they have office hours, I would say, you know, go to office hours every now and then. Definitely try to build a genuine relationship with them, because they definitely do want to help you. And I feel like all the people that I created relationships with, in the end, they were definitely very helpful, and they wanted to, you know, see me succeed and were willing to give me a great letter of recommendation as well. The next thing is to take the MCAT. So personally, this is probably the most challenging part of my pre-med journey, and I did overcome it though, so I do want to say that you will overcome it too. But I am going to give you guys a lot of information when it comes to the MCAT and break it down for you all in case you don't know the ins and outs of this exam. So the range for the MCAT is between a 472 and a 528, with 500 being the average score. Obviously the goal though is to aim as high as possible. Personally, I would say don't shoot for a 500 though, because that isn't a competitive score. I would say if you're going to shoot for something, shoot for at least a 510, and if you fall below that, at least you're still in the 500s range. So yeah, if you have to retake the exam again, that's okay, you know, plenty of people do, but definitely try your best the first time around. You want to have the best score possible, and this will definitely give you, you know, a better chance to get into the school of your dreams. Also, this exam is 7.5 hours long, and there are 4 sections for the exam, and the names of those sections are Biological and Biochemical Foundations of Living Systems, Chemical and Physical Foundations of Biological Systems, Critical Analysis and Reasoning Skills, and Psychological, Social, and Biological Foundations of Behavior. So each of those sections, you could score between a 118 and 132, with 125 being the median score for those sections as well. I would say to definitely dedicate at least 3 to 4 almost full-time studying to this exam. It is a challenging one. Some people may need less, some people may need more, but you know, do what works best for you, and also find out what study technique works best for you, because there are different types. You can do independent studying, you can do an MCAT prep course, you can do what else is there? You can do a online prep course, or even a private tutor. Personally, I prefer independent studying, and that's what works best for me. So find out what works best for you when it comes to this exam. Some people need more structure, and they want to have a course that can help them, you know, structure and figure out exactly what to study and when to study. And if that's you, that's awesome. Do what works for you. Also, there are a lot of MCAT resources out there, and prep courses and prep books out there. In the end though, I feel like it's very important to utilize all the AAMC resources that they have for the MCAT. So all of the practice questions that they give, all of the practice exams that they give, definitely utilize every single one of them. I feel like that helps a lot, because the practice exams are definitely the most similar exams that you would have to the actual test. So you want to feel as prepared as possible. So another thing that's important about the MCAT is choosing the date of your MCAT. So first things first, you're going to be applying to medical school a year before matriculating, and I would say you'll want to have your score back before applying. So I would say at least having your score by June is best, so you can apply by June and be early on. Some people do apply though without getting their score back, and that's okay. But of course, if you can't get your score back before then, that's even better. So personally, I actually took my MCAT in January, so that was way before applying, and that gave me a lot of time to get my score back and also decide if I want to retake the MCAT. So, you know, that's something you want to think about. I would say taking the MCAT at least before July, or the latest in July, is something I would recommend. Alright guys, so the next big step to take is to apply now, which actually comes with a lot of information and a lot more to do when it comes to applying. If you don't know what the application cycle looks like, I'm going to put a picture right here for you to look at. But just remember that it is rolling admissions, so the earliest you get in your application is actually better. You have a better chance to fill the seat at that school the earlier you get your application in. It is also recommended to apply to about 20 to 30 schools. That is around the average amount of schools that people apply to. Before applying, guys, definitely do all your research. So I would say look into if you want to do the MD or DO route, or look into if you want to apply to both. Look into what schools you're interested in. You could use the MSAR tool to find out, you know, what schools you might be interested in, how many schools you want to apply to. Figure out that list. Figure out the amount of money you'll have to spend, so you have that money saved so that you can use it. Also guys, if you do qualify for this is actually something that's awesome that I've heard about, has a lot of great benefits. So if you're able to qualify for this program, it's called the AAMC Fee Assistance Program, and the benefits of it is, let me just read them out for you guys. you won't have to pay for the primary application submissions up to 20 schools. So that's a lot of money. That's almost $1,000 plus probably that you're saving just from that. You also get a discounted MCAT registration fee. You get free MCAT prep products. You get the free MSAR subscription as well. And I would say in all, this is around $1,500 that you're saving. So if you think you qualify for this, definitely apply. It doesn't hurt to see if you get it. All right, so the next thing that you'll have to worry about is the Casper exam. After all the years of hard work you've already put in, after the MCAT exam, after all the experiences and hours you put into different activities, now you'll also have to take the Casper exam because they just love to load on more things to do for you. But a lot of people actually don't know about the Casper exam until around the time you're applying. Honestly, I wouldn't say to worry about it before then, because it's a 90-minute exam, and it's actually used to just test your situational judgment and to see how you would immediately respond to different scenarios. So there is a way to study for it, but definitely do your research when it comes to that time that you'll have to study for it. Yeah, definitely don't think too much about it beforehand, but I'm just letting you know this is something else that you'll have to actually think about, because a lot of medical schools do require this exam as well. Also, just to let you guys know, you don't get to see your score at all, so you really have no idea how you did. I would say definitely use the Casper resources that they have. I think they have practice exams that you can take just to get a feel of it, but you won't be able to see that score. It'll be sent to those schools that you chose that require the exam, and I'm not really sure how much weight it has on your application, but definitely try your best. Definitely do some studying and some practicing beforehand. You also aren't able to retake the exam more than once within an application cycle, so it's just a one-time thing. Alright, so after that, you then have to deal with interviews. So in order to get into medical school, guys, you have to be interviewed by that school. So your first goal is to receive an interview invite, and then you want to be able to do amazing on that interview and get that acceptance. So guys, I will have a video based on the interview and kind of tips on how to do super well in your interview, but that will be another video. But just to let you guys know, that is a part of the process of getting into medical school as well. And the last thing is your acceptance. So of course, this is the day you'll be waiting for a long time. This is going to be an amazing moment when you get your first acceptance. You'll be so beyond happy that all this hard work has finally given you exactly what you wanted in the end, and that is to start your career into becoming a physician, and that starts with medical school. So congrats for that. Once you get that acceptance letter, it's an amazing feeling. My very last piece of advice for you all is to strive to be the rule and not the exception. There are so many circumstances of even myself, people getting into schools with a lower MCAT score or a lower GPA, or without research or without certain experiences. Of course there's a possibility to get into school without these things, but guys, I will say don't strive to be that rule. Don't go into your pre-med journey doing the bare minimum. Definitely with everything, strive for excellence so that in the end you don't have any regrets, and then you put in the effort so that you can go to the schools that you should be going to, or get accepted to the schools that are meant for you. So that's definitely a key thing I would say, is to strive to do your best no matter what. If you do end up not doing as great as you thought, just know that you did put in the work and you did put in the effort, and you don't have any regrets about it. Alright, so that wraps up this video when it comes to all the information you need to get into medical school and what's necessary to, take this next step to becoming a physician. If you guys learned anything from this video, definitely let me know in the comment section. Give me your feedback. Like this video if you felt it was helpful. And yeah, thank you so much for listening once again. Subscribe. But just to let you guys know, I'm not ending this video here. This is a giveaway as well, guys. So, oh my gosh, look at this. This is so heavy, and I can't wait to give away this to someone because I'm tired of looking at it. I should have been got rid of it because the MCAT is in the past. I don't even want to think about it, but I want to give this to someone that you know, is watching. We do have all the MCAT prep books from the Berkeley Review. It's a whole lot. And we also have the Kaplan MCAT flashcards, which is also very, very helpful. Definitely love these flashcards. So what I am requiring for this amazing giveaway is to subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment a question that you'll want me to answer for my upcoming video that's all about who I am and just a Q&A when it comes to fitness, medicine, whatever you're interested in. Definitely ask that question below, and also follow my personal Instagram. So if you do all 4 of those things, I will be giving all of this to you. It's a whole lot, but you'll be getting this for free. And yeah, once again, thank you guys for being here, for listening, and yeah, I just hope you guys enjoyed this video. Take care.